Hi, I'm Jill Janus of Huntress, and you're watching Stormbringer, the Austrian heavy zine.
Hello, this is Florian from Stormbringer magazine, and I'm interviewing Jill Janus from Huntress, and I have a couple of questions. So let's start at the beginning of your career, or the story behind you getting to know metal. I heard about a German pen friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was 12 years old, I was taking German lessons in school, and we were assigned pen friends, and his name is Arne. And we're still friends to today. Whenever I come over and play Germany, he always comes to the shows. He would send me cassette tapes of music, like a mixtape. And the first time I heard Suicidal Tendencies, Controlled by Hatred, I knew that I wanted to sing heavy metal. So Arne was the first to really introduce me to that, and that progressed into a love of the Misfits and Danzig and King Diamond. And at the time, I was singing opera. So I started singing opera when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
And I knew I never really wanted to live for someone else's purpose. I knew I wanted to write my own music, and metal opened the door for me, being able to be theatrical and also use a wide variety of voices and this range I was born with.
Yeah, very cool. So the story behind getting to know your bandmates. So when was really your first idea to start your own band, or own metal band?
I was in various bands from the time I was a teenager up to now. None of them were ever, going to be Huntress. I always knew that Huntress would be my ultimate band. I had the idea for Huntress many years ago, and the name Huntress is even a tribute to a deity I worship, Artemis, goddess of the hunt. So I've always known that Huntress would be, for me, my legacy. So I waited a really long time. It took me about 10 years to find my boys. And I found them in Los Angeles. They were in a band called Professor. It was an underground metal band. And I gave them a couple demos of mine that I recorded, and they heard them, and they said, well, this is cool. It kind of sounds like Diet Maiden, but we'll give you a shot. So we had a rehearsal, and after that first rehearsal, we joined forces, and there was Huntress. We've had a couple lineup shifts over the last couple of years. At the core of it, there's 4 members, and we kind of go on tour with the 5th member, the guitarist, depending on who wants to come have fun with us on the road. But it's Blake Meal on guitar, lead guitar, Carl Wiersbicki on drums, and Ian Alden on bass, and then me on vocals, and then a secondary guitarist. We have had a couple along the path.
Okay. So what's very interesting at Huntress is your voice, of course. Yeah. So your how do you train your voice and or warm up also for the shows? And how do you get these screams and control it during the show?
The control comes from a lifelong discipline of classical training. I've been, like I said, since I was 10 years old, performing in operas and musical theater, and the discipline and the training behind that is the foundation for my screams. It really starts with the breath. Any vocalist that does this professionally knows it's about the breath, and that's really where it initiates from, and training. And anyone that wants to attempt this type of career in metal, it really it begins with training and that discipline, and knowing that you can't go out and party, and you can't do drugs all night, and you can't drink on the road. I'm absolutely sober, except for the occasional shot of Jaeger. So, it really comes with discipline and training. And my vocal coach is Melissa Cross. She's also Randy Blythe's vocal coach.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
and Angela from Arch Enemy.
Okay.
So Melissa's DVD, The Zen of Screaming, completely changed my life. It was the bridge between my classical voice and my metal voice, and stripping the inflections away and birthing this new sound. And it took me about a year to really perfect my metal scream and my approach without sounding like an opera singer. I don't want to be easy listening metal.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No.
I think so.
No, not for me. So we keep the broody and the beauty and the brutality is there vocally and within the music. But like I said, it's discipline and training that really makes me be able to scream night after night without losing my voice.
Yeah. I think that's very important for touring and keep your voice and your performance right through the whole tour, and giving every day, every night the best you can. You have to be professional.
Well, absolutely. One thing I learned is you are here for the fans. They're coming to see you at a show. So one night when you're getting fucked up or you're not sure if you're going to be able to perform the next day, you're going to let down the fans, and that's something that I don't ever want to do to you. So you're here to see a show, and with that comes great responsibility as a front person, knowing that you have to carry this entire performance. And luckily I have 4 bandmates that are completely professional and focused just the way I am on delivering a terrific show night after night. So again, it takes a lot of dedication and love, and a lot of love for the fans.
Okay. So I also heard that you are not really writing lyrics, so you're receiving lyrics, except from, you also received lyrics from Lemmy. That's another story.
I did receive lyrics from Lemmy. My process behind songwriting is interesting indeed. From the time I was a child, I have been receiving messages from various entities, other dimensions. This comes with me being a witch and part of my journey as a witch and being pagan. So when I fall into a trance, I receive lyrics, and I receive a lot of the content for the album. Of course, there are moments when I'm not in trance and I stitch it all together. But predominantly, I receive most of my lyrical content from other dimensions and other beings, particularly on Starbound Beast, from the Anunnaki, the aliens of the Algebron region, Alpha Tauri. So there's a lot of that cosmos involved with the second album, Starbound Beast. And also, we were very fortunate to have Lemmy Kilmeister of Motorhead co-write a song with us for our new album, Starbound Beast, which we're touring on now. I asked Lemmy if he would write a song for Huntress. We meet each other and go out for drinks when we're together in Los Angeles. So I met him at the Rainbow, and I was sitting with him, and I just said, hey, would you write a song for the next Huntress album? And he said, sure. So a few weeks later, I met him at the studio, and he hands me 2 pieces of notebook paper with the lyrics to I Want to Fuck You to Death. And the first thing he said to me was, if it's a little too fucky, I can change the lyrics. And I said, absolutely not. This is the most romantic thing a boy has ever done for me. So to me, it is a love song. And you can hear that in the writing of the music. He wrote the lyrics and we wrote the music. In writing the chorus, I really wanted it to maintain almost like a love song type of feel. So you can still keep that sensibility of the rawness within the verse, and it's gritty and it's heavy. But then in the chorus, you have a little bit of melody and just a touch of love. Yeah,
it's really a cool song. So
Thank
it's the music behind. So it's also, of course, when you hear the first time, it's kind of fun. And,
it is, yeah.
But you take it serious. It's serious fun.
It's serious fun, indeed. And it was written by Lemmy, and it was certainly a high five from the universe. So we're forever grateful. Thank you, Lemmy.
So your theatrical acting at the stage is also very important for you, but at the moment maybe the budget isn't really, you don't really have the budget for a great show. What would your or for a great stage production, what would your stage look like when you have the budget for like Iron Maiden or so? Have you ideas?
Amon Amarth has an amazing stage setup, and I really admire Amon Amarth, the Vikings from Sweden. We got to tour with them this summer on Mayhem Festival in the States. And, you know, the key here is creating an amazing set design without it being a gimmick, without it being false. So for me, anything that will still remain authentic and genuine. That's the key with Huntress, is that we stay true to the roots of heavy metal, and that we're authentic in our approach and very organic in all aspects of Huntress. So perhaps someday, you know, we'll combine elements. You know, once we have the budget, because we don't have it now. We're trying. You know, again, costumes will be a big aspect. I have several people now that are helping me with my costumes. my girl, her name is the Sorceress, and she makes these amazing leather capes and cloaks for me. And it's really just, you know, along the way, just deciding, you know, what's the most authentic production we can give the fans, and that's yet to be seen. I would like to be able to fly around the stage. That would be cool. Levitate.
Yeah, really.
Sure, why not? You know,
that's cool.
Why not?
Cool idea. Okay. So I heard that a lot of labels wanted to sign you at the beginning when you made your first self-produced EP, and finally it was Napalm Records then.
Napalm Records, the Austrian label, won us over. We were struggling a little bit in 2010, not really knowing which direction to go. And this happens for a lot of bands early on when you're being told by many people you should do this or do that, and you just really have to remember to stay true to yourself and ask yourself the question, what will be the key to your further success? And I asked the tarot cards, as I do when I always need guidance. So I asked the tarot in a reading to reveal one card that would become an epic metal song and bring Huntress success. And Eight of Swords revealed itself. At that moment, I knew instantly that we would write a song, Eight of Swords, that we would put all of our money into creating a video that would get us a lot of visibility. And it sure enough happened. Everything fell into place. When we released Eight of Swords, it went viral. It went into the desks of many record executives, and we received a lot of feedback from various labels that were very interested in signing us. In the end, when we spoke to Napalm Records, what won me over and won over the band as well was that they shared the same vision. It was so important that they didn't want to alter us or change us, that they just wanted us to stay true to what we do, to stay true to Huntress and deliver that. And so Napalm Records just really won us over.
Yeah, very cool. And you're here now in Austria. Also, tonight it's the 6th of January, so it's the first show of your tour. It
is nice, and it's the first show of getting over the holidays. Everything shuts down, so I'm really glad people are awake again. Welcome back, world. So yeah, tonight's going to be a very special night for us. The very first tour with Lamb of God and Decapitated here in Europe. We just got off tour with Lamb of God in North America, so we've been on the road with Lamb of God for probably it's going to be about 3 months this year, last year and this year together. So we're very grateful.
Yeah, you had a lot of different bands also on tour. You supported Dragon Force, and I also can remember the first show was 2010 at the Metal Fest in Austria.
Yes,
I was there. That was a cool show. Yeah,
that was Baby Huntress. That was the very first festival show we had ever played. And gosh, you know, it's only 2014 now. We've been a band for 3 years, so we're still learning. We're still every time we play, every tour we're on, every opportunity, we learn so much more. So I remember that day. Actually, Behemoth wasn't able to play because the storms were so bad, the rain, and we just barely were able to play. But that was our very first show here in Austria that we ever played as Huntress in Europe. So it began in Austria, and here we are again. Yeah,
that's very cool. And I also know that you are playing at the Nova Rock this summer.
We're so excited. Yeah. That's been one of my dreams, to play Nova Rock for many years.
Yeah, it's also the 10th anniversary of Nova Rock, so
it's going to be a really exciting year.
With Black Sabbath as headliner and
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, a lot of cool bands.
We're so honored.
So what can fans expect at this show then?
You can expect to have your faces melted. Nova Rock. Huntress brings a very raw show. I don't use any voice modifiers. I don't have any special effects vocally. The boys are, plugged in direct to their amps, and my drummer doesn't use any triggers. There's no bullshit. It's very straightforward heavy metal. So that's what you can expect, is a very true, in-your-face heavy metal show, and lots of screaming. No opera, easy listening bullshit.
Okay. Yeah, so very cool. Just want to come to... You also record an album next year, so you're very busy.
We're recording an album this year.
This year?
2014,
this year,
yeah. We've released now one album a year on Napalm Records. We released our first album, Spell Eater, in 2012. We released Starbound Beast last year in 2013, and we will be releasing the third album this year 2014.
Yeah, I'm still back in.
I know, I'm still back there
2013.
too a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, I'm just starting to realize this is a new year. But yeah, I think our goal right now, and we have amazing support with Napalm Records. They've been wonderful to work with. They very much support our artistic sensibility and really wanting to do one album a year for as long as it permits. You know, we're becoming busier. Our tour schedules are getting more massive. So, you know, we'll keep doing one a year for as long as we can. Right now, we're writing. We're almost done writing it.
Okay, yeah. So 2014.
You got it.
Cool
got
year
it.
for you and for all the metal fans, of course. So, yeah, I think.
You think you're good?
Yeah, I'm
Think
I'm
you're good?
good. So.
I just have one other thing to tell the fans.
Yeah. Of course. Just I want to wish you all the best for your
Okay.
tour, and
Okay.
we will see us definitely at Novorock. And your final message, you can get the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kindness, and I'm so happy you were here today to see us. Are you going to be here for the show too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
One last thing to the fans. If you have not watched our video for Zenith, pack your bongs now and watch it. It's going to blow your minds. It was directed by Phil Mucci, who's an amazing director. And you can find it on the Napalm Records YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Napalm Records. And again, we are Huntress. My name is Jill Janus. Thank you.
Okay.